Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, I'll be talking about the Western war on biological women. And most people really don't care how people express themselves sexually behind closed doors. In a perfect world, it would be enough to say what you do but in the privacy of your own home and your own house is your own business. Unfortunately, there's a powerful secular rainbow movement, a cabal, if you will, that is forcibly exclaiming that it's not enough, and much to the dismay of millions of heterosexual people, our politicians and commercial enterprises have acquiesced under their pressure. Many feel that it's about economics, but if that was exclusively true, then how does one explain the Bud Light miscalculation, right? In its simplest form, the United States Constitution says that all we are all endowed as citizens with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We're not guaranteed happiness, we're guaranteed the pursuit of happiness. The latter can be explained simply by no one is owed happiness, nobody. And any one group's pursuit of happiness must end at the point where it destroys the rights of others. Liberal women of all races and ethnic backgrounds not only embraced the secular rainbow movement, but encouraged it. They yelled and cheered as Bruce Jenner being named Woman of the Year by simply putting on a dress and calling himself Caitlyn. This was the first major biological woman's mistake. They should have asked one question. What did Bruce Jenner accomplish as a person to be named Woman of the Year over all the significant contributions from biological women in that very same year? Both liberal and sadly some conservative women played along in this delusion. So let's fast forward to today. The secular rainbow movement, particularly transgender women, have successfully blurred the lines of what it is to be called a woman in Western culture. As a result, natural biological women are now under attack for the ownership of their own sexuality and gender identity. We see examples of this as the heat Adele garnered by simply saying on a mic, "It feels good to be a woman." She took so much heat for that shit, it's unbelievable. As well as the attempted cancellation of J.K. Rowling, the person who wrote Harry Potter, for not endorsing the typical party line. She's not having any of this shit, right? So she's been taking a lot of heat, but she doesn't care. Okay, so this begs a few questions. What is a woman? Who are the gatekeepers? And why did biological women let it go down the rabbit hole so far? So I have 4 clips I want to show you guys, and I'm gonna share a couple of clips with you. And I might not answer all the questions, some of it on purpose. I want people to think. I would like to hear from you in the comment section of this video. Comment on it. Let's talk about it. The first clip is a documentary from Matt Walsh, and it's called "What's a Woman?" You can find it on Twitter. It's free, and I'll put some links. I'm gonna put all the links to whatever clips I use in the description of my video once I publish it. Okay, so Matt, let me just say a couple of things before I go. Matt is a brave man. He's standing up for biological women, whether they ask him to or not, because he has daughters. He thinks some of this stuff is absurd, and so he doesn't really agree with this push to for transformative women, men to take over what it means to be a woman. So bear with me. I'm going to share it in a second, and we'll go to that first clip and we'll talk about it.
Give my son a BB gun, and that's just about all the emotional support he needs. My daughter, on the other hand, I've heard people say that there are no differences between male and female. Those people are idiots. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 4. I host a talk show. I give speeches. I write books. I like to make sense of things. But making sense of females is a whole other matter. Even astrophysicist Stephen Hawking, who could come up with a theory on black holes, was completely dumbfounded by women.
Women. They are a complete mystery.
And now our culture is telling us that the differences between girls and boys don't matter. That if you identify as something, that you are that thing.
Fair use.
How do we help our kids make sense of this when they're bombarded with conflicting messages about gender and identity? Forget trying to figure out women. The real question is, what is a woman?
As you grow, your body changes from that of a young girl to that of a woman. Soon, Molly will be a young woman, having dates, going to dances in lovely romantic dresses.
The boy's shoulders are broad and his body muscular, while the girl's body is more curved.
I'd like to know more about different kinds of hormones.
The presence of these hormones in the blood brings about many changes in the bodies of both boys and girls.
Being a woman is one of the things I like best about myself. I think you'll like it too.
We stop it there. I think she said it best. I'm going to stop sharing that for right now. And I think she said it best. She likes being a woman, a natural woman. What's wrong with that? So the next clip that I'm going to show is from, I don't know, some people might know the rapper and singer Zuby, and he's a conservative man, and he talks about a lot of these, gender politics, and he's into a lot of this. So he's sitting down on a show called 1%, the 1% Man Show, and he's talking about the absurdity of the acceptance of both by both the liberal run government and commercial enterprises into this whole obsession with transgenderism. Now he's missing his words, and he's talking about just the absurdity of it. So I'm gonna play that clip, and I want you guys to check that out too. Because I think it's germane to what's going on. So let's go ahead and see what Zuby has to say about this. All right.
55 on Mike Tyson. Clean up 19-year-olds right now.
I'd watch Michelle Tyson. Let's go. So this is why it can't stand, though.
Yeah.
Right. So you can get away with a big lie for a certain amount of time, but not forever. Sure. Right. It comes to a point where the rubber meets the road, and that's happening on multiple levels. Yeah. Right. Because it's actually impacting people.
It is.
Right.
It is.
If you have a daughter in school and she now has to compete against a man, or she's got men in her changing room.
Yep.
If your children are being targeted with this ideology, and your son is coming home telling you that maybe he's a girl, or your daughter's coming home saying her teacher said that she can, at that point, the tolerance runs out.
Yep.
So let's just keep it going. I just want to hear some more stuff.
You think?
Yes. And I don't mean we've passed the peak of the ridiculousness of it all, but people's tolerance of it is very rapidly declining. As I said earlier, 2016, 2017, apart from a handful of people, very few people were even talking about this or were even noticing.
Because it wasn't that on your face.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't at that time, right? Yeah. But the harder, they've taken it to such an insane level, pushing it on people's children, right? trying to put it in the schools, just hammering people all day, every day with it. All
way.
these companies, all these governments just doing all this ridiculous stuff nonstop. It's almost become like a parody. It's gotten so ridiculous. Look, by the time you're allowing big men like us with beards to say that we are women and go in and start cleaning up in women's sports, like you've jumped, you right? It's absurd. It's like South Park, right? It's so silly. It's just like, come on. This shouldn't even be political. I don't care if you are liberal, progressive, conservative, whatever. Surely we can acknowledge this is silly. This is ridiculous. This is goofy. This
just because
is not,
you took some what is that, testosterone replacement, the opposite way, reverse.
You don't even have to do that though. You don't even have to go that far. That's what I mean. Like you can literally just say self-identity, right? It's called self-ID, right? You can literally just say, you don't need to do anything. You can just come out tomorrow and say, hey, I'm I feel like and no one is meant to even ask a question. Everyone's just supposed to go, oh, okay.
There was a hearing, I don't know where it was, some sort of US hearing. Then the guy asked a boxing committee, I think it was in Vegas or something. He was the one who runs it. And the guy said, okay, so men can identify as women and fight. Yeah, if that's how the guy feels, fine. Okay, what if Mike Tyson tomorrow felt like he's a woman and will you allow him to fight? And he's like, if that's what he feels.
Yeah.
Let me stop it right there. Okay, so you kind of get the gist of the absurdity of them saying, Mike Tyson should be able to just identify as a woman and begin to fight. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to just jump right into the next video. And this is a video where the rubber is going to start to hit the road, where a female comedian feels under attack from transgenderism, and she's asking for help. So let's just go ahead and play that one, and see what you think about it. Comment on this. And there's a reaction video by a gentleman named Anton Daniels, and a lot of it is his commentary to what her request is. And then we're going to show you the reply by a real transgender woman or a man who's now a woman, and see where the people's head is at, and you'll get a glimpse of what the real war that's pending is going to happen. Okay, so let's just share, and let's get started on this one. Here goes.
Meanwhile, Jess is over here petitioning for your help. Here, let me rewind it for you to help you to understand what she's saying.
Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that.
Now, y'all pissed that Jess. Do you know that women are starting to get canceled and that they trying to cancel Jess Hilarious for saying the thing that a lot of y'all already thinking? You got to censor your words now, because you're going to piss off somebody who you're supposed to be using their pronouns correctly. You gonna piss off a dude or a woman or a sis. I don't even know what the fuck y'all call yourselves anymore. Whoever he is, y'all gonna be getting them pissed off. And now they coming for y'all. Let me give you an example.
Shay, I'm gonna just keep it a bug. A lot of cisgender women are just unhappy. Let's use the term that they love. A lot of real women are really unhappy. A lot of real women are really unhappy. A lot of real women are really insecure. And a lot of real women are really bothered that trans women really look better than they really do. Since they really want this real word, bitch, you can have it. Girl, you can have it. Girl, it's not my fault that you mistaken my happiness and my femininity as a challenge. Sweetie, when I was identifying how feminine I was and how far I wanted to go and how I wanted my inside to match my outside had nothing to do with you. Okay? Because it seems like y'all only have so much to say when it comes to a competition.
Don't be confused, that truth. Don't be confused. You are not confused. You know what's going on. Don't be confused. Don't be confused. You know what's up. And you know what the craziest part about this whole thing is? It's getting so good now. The surgeries, the replacements, the whatever the fuck y'all able to do, y'all said that the body shapers was for everybody. It's for everybody, right? If you look at this person right here, right? And on the outset, if you just look at this person without this person opening up their mouth to talk, to hear the voice, by default, you would think that this is a woman. By default, you would think that that was a woman. I can't fucking tell the difference anymore. I can't tell the difference anymore. And they coming back at you now. They're coming back at you now. When you speak your mind as a, what did they say, identify you as a cisgender woman? I don't even know what the fuck that is. As a natural woman, they said, say something. Say something. I fucking dare you, nigga. Say something new.
Let me stop that right there. All right. So we got the gist of that, right? I mean, you know, you can look at that and say, hey, you know, so you see the response by this transgender woman, you know, and a person living in transition who's telling Jess Hilarious, you're just jealous. You're just jealous, right? So listen, I got a final clip. It was where, you know, I was on a panel, and this is my response to you know, some of the stuff that was on the panel. So I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm gonna show you what I said on the panel. So some of it is abbreviated, but I'm gonna let you know. And we were talking about, you know, transgenderism and some other things. Okay. Here we go. Let's share this. All right, here goes. And I'm gonna end up with my discussion. I'm gonna talk about the Jess Hilarious situation and how I feel about a man trying to protect a woman who allowed all of this stuff to happen in the first place.
As far as if they're old enough to adopt, I have nothing to do with that. If they can do it and they get approved for it, I won't approve of it, but I can't stop it. As far as living in my house, I told my daughters when they became of age, I said, even if you have a boyfriend, you ain't staying in my crib. Nobody's stroking in my house except me. Nobody. Nobody. I'm the only guy that can do that, you know, so you got to find somewhere else to stay.
That's right.
See what happens.
Thank
so
you.
that was a good one.
Thank you.
So,
all these degenerates on here talking about, oh, you wouldn't do it in this person's house. No, that's right. Your
Now,
house is
Mr. Bennett, you didn't hear me say nothing about that. So we talk about all these
only
degenerates.
headboard I should be hearing is my own. I don't want to hear a headboard knocking against anything else.
Bennett knows who he's letting crash at his place and who he's not now.
But let me go ahead and finish. We are at war, whether we want to declare it or not. We're at war. We're at war for our children. We're at war for our future. And, a lot of people are historians. Everybody knows that all these empires fell once the degeneracy took over. And I don't care what anybody says. This same-sex thing is degeneracy. Now, I mean, whatever you do in the privacy of your home, I don't want to be involved with that. But trying to change laws, trying to force people to give you different pronouns. And I remember at the time when, Ebonics came out and somebody tried to get people to talk like idiots. Yeah, everybody just says, you know what? We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. And you know what I'm saying? We're just not doing that. Black people were at the forefront saying, we're not doing that. And so it's just no way I'm going to call a person a girl or a guy, a they or a them. That's just not, I'm just not going to do it. That just sounds stupid. And they got this and that, and Vol, and what the hell are you talking about? So, and the more we conform, and I just got to say it, the Black community has been a conduit for a lot of degeneracy. And all of these, every time you see something about a Black cause, you'll see attached to it as a rider, some LBGYN, whatever the hell, Skittles thing attached to it. And, with the Ron DeSantis thing, right? He had the 5 planks that he wouldn't let become part of the school curriculum. 4 out of 5 planks had something to do with LB, the LBs or whatever the hell they call themselves. What the hell, first white women took over affirmative action years ago, and that's why everybody's still trying to fight for it now. What the hell are you fighting for? We haven't been a beneficiary of affirmative action for like 30 years.
Facts.
So my whole thing is we need to move forward as Black folks and, heterosexual Black folks, just like I don't let the LBGYNs call me sis. I'm not no sis, this and that. I'm a heterosexual man. You can't name me something I don't want to be named. So if it's a slur to you for me to call you the F word and all that kind of stuff, it's a slur to me for you to call me a cis man. I don't like that. So I'm gonna just land it there. I mean, we're in a war, and here's the kicker. I saw Jess Hilarious's thing, and she said, "Well, who's protecting us?" I said, "Well, sister, you know what? Chickens are coming home to roost. Get your ass up with the rest of your sisters and fight this battle because you let it go too far." So you want to define what a woman is? Where's your white sisters? Where's your Asian sisters? Where's your Latina sisters? Where's all of these women who bleed every month, letting some guy who doesn't want to be a man no more try to tell you what a woman is? That's not my fight. We told you not to do it. You stuck your middle finger up at us like you do to men all the time. Now the chickens are coming home to roost. Eat that son of a bitch. Smoke it a little bit with some cherry wood and all that kind of stuff and figure it out.
Well, okay then.
Let me stop that right there. And, just that's what I meant. I meant every word of it. And let me stop sharing and share this back again. Listen, we, like I said a couple of times, we are at war. We definitely are. And, we may be losing. You can't have a movie without all of this stuff in it. If you're a nondescript Black actor, you have to be gay. You can't, if you're a man who's heterosexual and a husband, you got to be a deadbeat husband. You got to be a bad father. Your masculinity is everything's under attack. So it's really, this secular rainbow movement is really taking root, and it's gone too far. Listen, I want to mind my own business. Meaning, I don't care what two people do in the privacy of their own home. I really don't. I don't care what you do. However, I'm vehemently opposed to changing laws to force the rest of us to accept your way of life. Nobody else is afforded that kind of liberty. Nobody. Only thing you are guaranteed is life, liberty, and your pursuit of happiness. You're not guaranteed happiness. Everybody doesn't have to bow down just so you could be happy. That's bullshit. As Black people, we had to learn that lesson. You know, every group who wants their freedom in this country has to learn a lesson that your freedom only extends, your happiness, your pursuit only extends to the door of your neighbor, not inside that person's house, not inside that person's mind. You know, that is not America. So listen, I want you guys to like, share, comment, subscribe on this particular video. You know, I believe this topic is going to be huge. It's not going to go away anytime soon. I think it's going to play a major role in the upcoming election, and as well as it should. And all those politicians who are woke and want everybody to conform to one small group's ideology should be voted out of office. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Art Payne, over and out. Marriage, politics, and sports, over and out.